Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to ECTN Television and a special edition of Community Corner. Today I have a very special guest that I'm sure that a lot of you will be very much interested in hearing what she has to say. Newly appointed Maroon Queen, Gaama Gloria Mama G. Sims, first ever female Maroon. Right. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago, first of all. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure too.
Now, tell us a bit about your purpose of the visit here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I'm on my way from Suriname to Jamaica. I was there in Suriname for the National Maroon Day celebration that they have annually. And I was there along with the whole Maroon community, all the Gaamans of the different Maroon tribes. And I was also there with Akila Jermogi, who is part of the American Maroon here, and Fidelia Grand Galan, who was ambassador of Suriname to Trinidad for a couple of years. We are together. We're moving in a direction. We started the Maroon Women Chambers.
Tell us what is for the viewing public, tell us what is a Maroon?
Maroons are Africans that were brought in the Western world from Africa during the days of the transatlantic slave trade. And some of our people, my foreparents, resisted the slave trade. And as soon as their foot touched the shore, they run. In Suriname, they run in the swamps, and in Jamaica, they run in the mountains. There's also a group here in Trinidad known as the American, who came out of South, the cotton picking niggers area, as they would say. And they resisted also when the British came to invade America during the time going into independence. They fought hard, and the British did not succeed that invasion, so they moved them out of America into Nova Scotia, like going through the underground railway route. And the same people that our Bob Marley sing about, Buffalo Soldiers. They were, after many years, got settlement here in Trinidad.
That's Americans.
Americans.
Yeah, there were the different companies, first company, sixth company.
Right. So we signed an agreement together in 2014 at a Grand Kutu that we have in Suriname. Our ambassador, Ma Fidelia, Her Excellency Ma Fidelia Grand Galan, who was ambassador from Suriname to Trinidad, came upon the Americans Maroon, and she and myself, who she met in Jamaica at the International Maroon conference there in Charlestown, we decided to sign a memorandum of cooperation in 2014, and that begins the journey.
Now, you are the first ever female Maroon Gaama.
Right.
Now, the male version is Gaman.
Yes, I take the liberty to call myself Gaama.
Gaama.
But the terms is Gaman.
Right. But what is the role of a Gaman?
Well, the Gaman is a paramount king or a queen, one who rules his people, because the Maroon are sovereign people. So wherever we are like a state within a state. So we have our own governance. The Suriname Maroon, we preserve many things that is African retention in the West. And one of the things that Suriname Maroon preserved was the government, the governance of a sovereign people. And so the Gaman is the ruler of the land, the interceptor of the people, the one who stood between the Almighty, the Creator, and the people. And it's an ancient way of our people. The Gaman is like what you would say in Egypt, the Pharaoh, you know, the king over all the people, or the queen. So that's what the Gamanship is. It's like the Governor General, the Prime Minister of the land as a sovereign.
How many Caribbean countries can you find the Maroons? I know there are 6 types.
Well, every day we come upon a different set of, in our research and moving around, the more we move around is the more we discover that there are Maroons in every region. Presently, we know of Maroons in Belize, the Garifuna. We know of Maroons in Suriname, in Jamaica, in Trinidad, in Bahamas, in Caracou, in St. Vincent, in Brazil, in Colombia, the Maroons in America. There's the South, people in the South, which are Maroon as well. There's Maroon all over.
And you are the head of all?
Well,
in all the different countries, or just in Suriname?
I am Paramount Queen of the Maroons of Jamaica, but has a Maroon Queen, they are Queen of all our people, wherever they are. So, when I come to Suriname, I am treated with the protocol of a queen. When I'm in Trinidad, or people who knows what it is and how we serve, they treat us with the same respect. When I go to Belize, I'm received with the same respect. So when I was installed, I was the Gaman who did the installation. He said, "You're Gaman of all the people." So I feel that I have this responsibility to my people and extended to all humanity.
Now, I know that you are regarded as a Jamaican national hero. You were born in Jamaica. How did you transcend from Jamaica to Suriname? And you live permanently now in Suriname?
No, I live in Jamaica still.
Okay. But how did the connection with Jamaica and Suriname came about?
Well, my installation has pulled the connection closer. But Jamaica and Suriname share bonding. There, the Injuka tribe, I was honored by the Samaka Maroon, Gaman Belfon Abukani, who now sleeps, but I was honored by the Samaka Maroon, who moved the tradition to give it to a woman for the first time. Because when he met me, he said, "You are such a leader, and you came with all the ancestors, so he could not give me less of an honor." But it was the Njuka tribe who came to Jamaica to perform my installation there. Because the Njuka tribe, the Ukunasi, is a tribe that has a long history historical bonding with Jamaican Maroon. It is said, and it's a story that most Surinamese will tell you, that there was this particular slave. He was a slave to an English plantation in Jamaica, but he shared a good relationship with his master. So when the master was returning to England, they took him in the Caribbean and they sold him to a Dutch. His name was Buster Bent in Jamaica. But when the Dutch take him into Suriname, but as soon as he reached the shore, he ran. because he didn't sure if the Dutch would treat him the same way his English master has treated him. He learned to read and write in Jamaica, and he knows of the Maroon and the negotiation there. And he ran. And when he ran, he came upon ones who were Maroon, and he told them about the negotiation that he know in Jamaica. And he became one of the interpreter and negotiator for the 10th of October signing of a peace treaty in Suriname way back in 17th or 16th century. So they will tell you of the story. They don't say Jamaica, they say Jamaica.
Okay.
They call him Bastan Benti when he went there, who helped them with that negotiation. So because of that, and he was one of them who would become part of the Njuka tribe, the same tribe that came to Jamaica to install me.
Okay.
So they have this historical ancestral connection to Jamaica because of that story.
Now, if we could go back to you growing up in Jamaica, because I'm sure that you must have grown up in a culture that had destined for you to be where you are today,
Yes.
right? Tell me about your growing up in Jamaica. What was the influence in you, or from who, that guided you to be here at this part today?
Well, I grew up.
And what part of Jamaica you grew up in?
I grew up in Jamaica, very close to the district where Usain Bolt is from. And I was born in Wakesfield in Trelawney, and that is like coming out on the back road of Old Trelawney town, known to the British as Old Trelawney town, but Kodjo town, which is a Maroon town. We fought the Second Maroon War in Jamaica after the treaty was signed. Most of our descendants were transported in 1796 into Nova Scotia, Halifax, in Canada. And they went from there, some of them, into Sierra Leone and built the Maroon Church there. So I am from that descendants. There's two grandparents is from there. A area that is known on the map as Maroon Town.
Okay.
I grew up in a very cultural settings where we didn't have any fencing between any homes, and there's a track between each kitchen. So you would take food every evening from one kitchen to the next. And if somebody killed any livestock, we didn't have fridge, so I would send a quarter of whatever livestock I killed to your house, and when you kill, you would send it back. And a lot of bartering. Culture was very rich. You know, if you have too much coconut tree, somebody could lease a coconut tree for the crop on it. They could lease a breadfruit tree that is well bare, and you would reap the crop off the tree. So there was a lot of bartering, lot of togetherness.
The good old days.
Good old days. I was born in a Wackland Dab house. You know,
Explain.
Wackland Dab is like you use bamboo to build the house, and then you will use mud or marl, white clay, to build a wall that look like that, but it's really dirt. So they said Wackland Dab, meaning they slap the mud onto it. So, and then it looked like a black house, but it was like that. So I was born in a small 2-room house like that, and delivered by a nana in the area, and register at the post office that is in the area. Way back in those days, you know, and when they cut your neighbor string off the placenta, it would plant under a tree, and you will grow with the tree and know that that is your tree, and your neighbor string bury under
How life
that
has
tree.
changed.
Yes.
How life has changed.
So I grew up like that, you know. We grew up where
Brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have brothers and sisters.
Okay.
You know, most of them turned to Christian faith, but I hold on to the culture. I've been through the church too, but I could not be satisfied with whatever teaching they were giving, and so I still go back to my history. My grandmother was a spiritual woman who would get messages to deliver in other village if there was anything going on. And she would have to go with her drum to a place she might not even been before and tell what the spirit tell her to do. They call them in those days Wana. So my grandmother was a Wana, spiritual woman who has the church on her land, and she would play the drum with the sticks, and so I grew up with that. You know, and herbs. We grow up, we know we have to go to the bush to look our own seriously. If we have in tummy ache, we would go and look the herbs that we know is good for tummy ache, and so from we were young. So I grew up very cultural, you know, and grew up very close to the spirit, and the spirit would tell me things and I would see it happening. I would see people that I don't know before, and then I would see them the following day, just like how I see it before, and so
when you look at life yesterday and you look at life today, with especially the young people, what message would you like to leave with the young people, wherever you whatever country you go to? What message would you like to leave to the young people?
Well, there's a lot you could say, because there's a lot happening. But one of my main things is the culture. Culture is the only thing that can refine a nation. It refines the coarseness of a nation. So when you go in your culture, when you go back to your roots, when you go back to the way your grandparents used to live, and you might have to research, or you might have to go back to Hawks, or you might have to reminisce and reflect upon what you had seen as a child, and go deep into yourself spiritually. There's always the answer there. But I still, would want to go further and talk of what we are doing in this time to bring people together, to bring out an awareness that we know will be beneficial to a nation to come. Because realizing that we are not just born in this time to live and to die, but each one come with a mission. Some forget why they came, but we still remember. And one of the things myself and Akila and Marfidelia is doing is getting people aware of their past and their history. So this year we are moving in the era where I think 2014 was declared United Nations Year of the African Descent. And that same year, the following year, I did a documentary where I played the role of Nanny.
Nanny, yes, I was supposed to ask about that.
Which is the national heroine of Jamaica. And it was world premiere through that same program at the United Nations headquarters in New York. And we are about 4 years into that year of United Nations Year of African Descent. And in events like those, there's always funding and opportunity there to do something for your African people. Sometimes it might be the first people here of the first people. Sometimes Maybe next year, when this is true, this decade is up, it might be the year of the Chinese or something. But we want to make a mark because of what we see is happening and what we know we can do for our people. So in this coming year, we want to left a mark of bringing African of the diaspora, the Maroons, together as a people that stand up and resist and survive. Because if we look around good in the world today, we see wherein people has lost hope, how to survive, how to get along in some situation where I think there's more comfort than in the days when our people take the stand. In the days when our people take the stand, they didn't have phone to phone somebody to connect. They didn't have internet. They were just running into a mountain or in the swamps where they don't know where they were going. But they still survive. So we think that's a lesson that we can teach to the world. We think it's a way that we can bring hope to the many hopeless that we see right now in the world when we listen to the news and see what is happening in the different land. You know? So we are working on a program to bring awareness to the Maroons in the diaspora, the way they survive, the things they learn through survival and maroonage, the principle of maroonage and survival, the retentions that we preserve from our foreparents that still serves us today, that we see many people is turning to today holistically, the herbs and all the different things, the food, the way of life, the mannerism, you know, we want to really share that.
So what is next for Mama G? When you leave Trinidad and Tobago, what's next? Where do you go from here?
Well, I'm heading home to Jamaica where I live, you know, and there's a lot to be done there. I've been in Suriname for 3 weeks, and it was based on the 10th of, which is National Maroons Day in Trinidad, in Suriname, and the unity that I see and the strength of the Maroons there is something that I am going home back with, and I'm hoping to establish now, because I've just finished the ceremony which I had was to do part of it at the Tabiki of the Gaama there. So I'm going back to liaison to communicate more with our chiefs and our colonels, as they are known in Jamaica, and to put things in order, to establish the gamanship, to establish the protocol around it, which I know will bring strength, unity, and development to our people there. So,
well, we are here chatting with you at the High Commission of Jamaica Residence. You are considered a Jamaican national hero. How did that come about?
People look upon me as being nanny. People look upon me as being nanny. I wouldn't say in myself that I am a Jamaican national hero, because there's many people ahead of me who have done great work. People like Miss Louise Bennett,
Yes.
with the language. People like Bob Marley, who have been out there singing and the world has acknowledged him.
Have you had the opportunity to meet Bob Marley?
No, but I know his children and I know his granddaughter, and his
Okay.
wife is also part of the documentary that I do. She's in it as well, and I met her many times and we reasoned, but I've never met Bob Marley like that. You know, only through the spirit. But I know of his now family. I met them from time to time. So they say a hero is someone that do something to save their people. So Queen Nanny of the Maroons in those days, which is like a mother of the nation, she's the only national heroine amongst the many heroes in Jamaica until today. So walking in her footsteps in this time, I think the culture is what we have that can save the people. When I look in Jamaica, we are moving away from our culture. With the songs we sing, from the music that our foreparents had saved, which has helped them through oppression, we now sing songs that bring depression sometimes, straying away from the roots. Maybe because of money, I don't know. But I live a life that I hope will be a model to many and an example to many by not living for myself or living for my people. I started the Maroon Women's Group so that I could help. It's the first ever women's group by the Maroon, so that I can help my girls and my ladies to see, women to see themselves as girls and to see the role and responsibility that they carry for the nation. So if there's anything lying in my powers to do to save my people, I will take that extra step and go that extra mile to do it.
As a woman and as a mother, an elder, I'm giving you this opportunity to look into the camera and speak to the women.
Yes.
From the young girls go up to the grandmothers of Trinidad and Tobago. Leave them a message.
That's a very touching point, which I'm very passionate about my women and like myself and the girls. I would say, consider yourself good. We have an old saying we use in Jamaica: she who feels it knows it. As women, we are, a nation is as its women. A nation is as its women. And if the women lose sight of who they are and the role they should be playing in this time, then the nation will fall. The responsibility is on our shoulder. And sometimes we wonder why we the woman, why is not the man, what is the man doing? But it's from us that all the men came. Every man, no matter how great he become in life, come from a woman. So we who created, who have the mold that continue to mold life, you know, like you throw the cement into the mold and it become a block. We carry that mold with our womb. And when it's not producing child, it's a vacant part that can produce other things. So whatever you think, the way you see life as one in the nation, as one that has the responsibility to take care, I'm appealing to my women and my girls. If you pull your socks up, if you put the house in order, then your house will be in order. Yes. That's my message to you.
Mama G, it was indeed a pleasure speaking with you. I know you leave for Jamaica tomorrow.
Yes.
I do hope that you enjoy the remaining hours that you have here.
Yes.
And I hope that God gives you strength to continue doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's something very positive.
Yes, I
so
give
blessings to you.
I give thanks.
Well, viewers, we have come to the end of a very special edition of Community Corner. Here we were at the High Commissioner for Jamaica office, where we had the privilege of speaking with the first ever female Maroon Gaama. And what more can I say? Gloria sings Mama G, telling her story and, and talking to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This was a special edition, as I said, of Community Corner here on ACTN. We hope that you have enjoyed this opportunity to hear what Mama G had to say. And for those of you who don't know much about the Maroons, maybe you should try to get on the internet and find out more about the history behind this whole Maroon situation that we spoke about. So again, thank you very much. We hope to see you soon. Bye.
Thanks.